Papa Joe. Freedom! Ready, buddy? Let's go. Alright, trail starting off a little gnarly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Stay Fishy adventure. You saw it right in the thumbnail. Today, we're heading deep into the mountains, into an abandoned shelter. That's what we're gonna call home for 48 hours. Got a lot of cool things planned for this trip, everybody. You guys have been asking for it. We're giving it. Let's go have ourselves some adventure. Wow, right out the gate, we're finding food. These are very, very beautiful, perfect immature coral mushrooms. They don't have any worms in them. They look delicious. It's supposed to only be about 3/4 of a mile to the shelter, so it won't be too far to come and look for these again. I don't really want to pack them right now, but at least we know there's some food here. Perfect. Let's find this spot. Oh my God, hallelujah. Good time. That's my favorite mushroom in the world. Wow, look at her in all its goodness and glory. Holy shnikes. That is wild. Look at how big it is. This, everybody, is my favorite mushroom in the entire world. It's called the cauliflower mushroom, and it is tastier than anything you've ever had in your life. I guess we're gonna be packing this thing around a while. The trail seems to kind of be dissipating as we're working farther up here, so we might actually be in the wrong place, but it led us to the right thing. Wow, look at that. What a beaut. Yes. Oh, that is so beautiful. Gotta find a spot for it in the pack now. I love how these mushrooms like just incorporate the forest. They grow in and around all the twigs. You'll be cleaning these things and there'll be sticks growing all the way in between them. What a beauty. Oh God, that's living right there. Get out of town. Not even 10 feet further down the trail. Oh, never mind. Actually, they're scaly chanterelles. So these are a chanterelle of a genus, if you will. Same undercarriage as the normal chanterelle, but they're scaly. And these ones can actually hurt your stomach. They have like a tube that goes all the way down them, and basically they're rotten all the time. I don't think they taste very good, and I do not recommend eating these. I think you can actually eat them, but they're bad for your health. So we're gonna leave those there. Stick with our Bob Ross. Well, it looks like a mazzatake. Yeah. But everybody just tell me if that's a mazzatake or not. I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to carry it anyways. We gotta try to find this trail. Okay, found the trail. It's definitely much more traily than what we were originally on, but it got us this bad boy. Things are looking up. Things are looking up, everybody. Now, the cabin is supposed to be about a mile in here, and I am very excited to do this. It's too bad I don't have a deer tag for this area, but those hunts are coming. Elk season is coming up, so you guys be on the lookout for those videos. That's gonna be fun. You guys liked those last year. The whole experience of going to elk camp. That's one of my favorite times of year. So coming up next is the cabin. Let's see what this thing looks like. Here it is. We're here. We've reached our destination, and it's beautiful. Look at this thing. Badass. Bunk beds. Like all top bunk. Beautiful tables built. Fire pit. Sweet. We are here. It says this place. I'm not gonna say I don't want to blow up spots, everybody. It's a big part of what we do is to not let you guys learn the lifestyle, learn the methods and our ways, but don't let you know where we go. It's a kind of a fault of the internet, is blowing up too many spots and overpopulating spots. I believe everybody deserves to go out and enjoy things, but they should put in a big effort to go enjoy it by themselves as well. So anyhow, this cabin was constructed in 1921 to 1922 by a group of explorers in 1920, hunters, fishermen, whatever it might have been, that brought those people up here, inspired them to build the cabin. Oh, little, there's no water in the creek. Crud. I think it's time we get set up, ditch some of our stuff, get a little lighter load, and go see what else this place has for exploring. Our ambiance for the night. There we go. Ah, man, it's quiet. What a peaceful place. Right next to the creek, the non-existent creek. So good to get away sometimes. Granted, a lot of these adventures are off and away, but no place is quite as quiet as a place like this. We're right next to a big volcano. We're in a very, very beautiful area. Life couldn't get much better. But now the work begins. We made it here. We'll make our bed here in a little bit. It's time to go find some food and some water. We got our shelter. Luckily, somebody almost 100 years ago, right? Yeah, 101 years this structure's been here. Pretty crazy, but 101 years ago, somebody made our shelter for us. Time to go find some food and some water. Let's do it. Okay, so I did bring a fishing rod. Got my fishing rod in my hand, and we are going to a little creek nearby. I don't know how much water is going to be in it this time of year, but there are fish in it that we can keep and eat. If we walk far enough, it turns into a pretty good sized river. So we're going to go check that out, try to find some fish first. This time of year, the fall can be my absolute favorite to trout fish. The fish are the biggest usually. They've been eating all summer long. They're getting ready for a long cold winter, so they're eating hard again. But there's only a few different species we can keep. Of course, we are in one of those places again. Ooh, that faked me out. Thought we had some more chanterelles for dinner. But we're gonna go find some fish, hopefully. This should be a pretty cool way to start. And then obviously while we're there, we'll grab some potable water, bring it back to camp, get everything boiled up, get ourselves a nice little mountain meal cooked. Then we have all day tomorrow as well. I have a whole nother plan for what we're gonna be doing tomorrow. So this is good. This is going good. Gotta beat a little brush. Get towards the creek over here. It's basically where this daylight is. Oh my God. What did we just find? Look at this. Look at that. That's a big white chanterelle right there, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet. What a score. Now you can really see the difference between the white and the shaggy here. Some of you may not think that it's much of a difference, but it definitely is, no less. But it doesn't have the scales. This one kind of has a little bit of like wardage, if you will. But that is a chanterelle mushroom in the flesh right there. Much stronger smell than the scalies and a much, much better taste. Sweet. All right, a little bit more food for the belly. Onwards to the river. Well, we found it, everybody. We found water, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's crazy, even for being this late in the year, how much water's still, and this is all obviously spring fed, so water's crystal clear. It looks colder than heck. I'm definitely not wanting to fall in today, but let's see if there's some fish in here. Okay, there she is. Beautiful, beautiful river bottom. The smells down here is incredible. It feels like spring. We got the confluence of two little creeks here. Other than that, this thing is really ripping. A lot of water flowing in this little creek. I don't know how much fishing there really is going to be. I might need to cross this one to even fish down there, but the key is, the goal might be to get it lower and lower in this creek system to where there actually might be somewhere to fish. All we can do is try. Give it a try really quick. Just got my little sculpin pattern here. No, not far enough. Yeah, I don't know. I think we need to get lower. Let's keep hiking. We'll keep beating cheeks till we find a good spot. There's got to be a fish in this river. All right, dropping down a little bit further here. Oh, almost died. Nearly died. You all just witnessed it. I can hear the water. It sounds calmer now. Come about probably, I don't know, a mile or so down creek. And the canyon has definitely kind of leveled out, as you can see. It's not quite as steep. I don't hear quite as much white water. I think we might have a hole up here waiting for us, but who knows? This is all an adventure. Got a little chillier outside. Had to take the coat off the waist, but food is awaiting us. I already found food, obviously, but I hope we catch some fish here. Let's go check it out. Now that's fishy. I'm glad we put in the effort to come down here. This is gonna pay off, I think. That is a nice hole. Let's go see it. See what's in there. Okay, so I think stealth is gonna be the name of the game here, everybody. See if I can get out there even a little bit further. So all I brought with me, just because I knew we were gonna be hiking through the woods, I brought a rooster tail and I got my sculpin jig. And a creek like this time of year when there's not a lot of bug life going on, mainly because it's getting colder and colder. Those bug hatches aren't happening. I see one little caddis flying right now, but this should get the job done. Let's see. Here we go. Swimming, we're swimming. We're swimming little sculpin. We're just out enjoying our life. Looking to get eaten. There's gotta be something good in here. I can feel it. Come on, little fish. Bring daddy some dinner. Okay, right there. I feel like that's the spot. That's, oh, got him! Yeah, that's a big rock. Crud. Snag. Well, so much for that idea. Scope and jig's gone. Dang it, that's what was gonna catch the big one. That was gonna feed the whole camp. Good thing we brought another lure. That'd have been a lot of walking for no reason. On goes the rooster tail. Last resort. Okay, rooster tail. We'll watch out for that spot. Man, that's a pretty creek. Gotta tell you, the water this time of year is so beautiful. Blows me away. It's like the last of the glaciers left that are melting. Every little bit of snow that falls with each rainfall up in the high elevations is melting, and this makes for a beautiful fishing scenario. Got all the leaves turning. It's a good place to be living in right now. Good place to be alive. Louisiana law gonna get you, Amos. It ain't illegal hunting alligators down in the swamp, boy. Okay, hole number one's a bust. Sometimes life's about finding another hole. Happens that way. Let's head upriver. Now this is a holy hole. A religious hole, if you will. It's righteous, that's for sure. See if there's any fish in it. This is a little bit more spinner water. I wish I still had my sculpin jig though. That's what happens when you come unprepared. Up a little creek without a paddle, you know? Ooh, that's fishy. That is real fishy. There's gotta be something in there. I feel like the key in a lot of rivers like this, especially ones that are this clear, is just finding the aggressive fish. Most of these little guys ought to be pretty hungry. There's not a ton of bug life, like I said. So anything that's flashy, anything moving, should look like a meal to them. A meal to them. Oh, there he is right at the bank! Oh my God! As I was talking about it, fish on! Little, no, get out of the way. What is that? It's a whitefish. It's a whitefish. He's going on the bank. That one's ours. That is ours. That's dinner, everybody. How random, too. A whitefish on a spinner? Hell yeah, dude. Heck yeah. That's a beauty. Let's put him out of his misery, because that's dinner. Just like that. Probably just take the gills out even. I'm gonna bleed that little bad boy. Kind of got to pack this thing all the way back to camp. That is gonna be plenty though. That'll probably even be enough for Little and I. What do you think of that, buddy? Okay, got the head off. I didn't show that part. It's a bit gruesome. No need to break YouTube rules, but I'm gonna just take each of the fins off, just like so. Cut right towards your fingers. That's how the doctor recommends it. Oh, it's a male. You can tell by the way it is. And it's right there. Right there, open that bad boy up. Take out the ziggouts, like so. Clean out the blood. Sweet. That's a fish. That's a fish. Now I'm gonna scale the bad boy. Get a lot of those scales off so that skin will be edible. Get as many calories as we can out of this thing. And now it's full of sand, so let's wash that off. Looking pretty good. Descaled, deheaded, whitefish. And that's dinner. Right there, baby. We did it. But now, we better see if Little gets his own fish. But that was pretty easy. That was the second hole we actually fished. The other spots we fished obviously weren't deep enough. They didn't have nice enough structure to be fishing. So let's give it another try. See if we can find another one. Heck yeah, everybody. Fish 5. Let's go behind this big old rock over here. That looks fishy. Oh! Oh, that was a good one. Right at the bank. He's still on. He's got it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is that thing? Oh, it chased it all the way to the bank. What is that thing? Oh gosh, I thought it was a trout at first, but it's not. It's a giant. It looks like a spawned out salmon. Oh, that was crazy. It looks like a coho salmon. Oh goodness. That was insane. I heard it tug. I felt it tug, kept reeling, and I thought it was still just coming for it, and I saw this giant fish come chasing it down. Old Moldy, we'll call him. Old Moldy liked my spinner. Easy now, easy now. Just crushed it too. It is a hatchery fish, but it is not in the edible shape that we would want it. I'm not gonna take it all the way out of the water, but what a beautiful salmon in all of its spawning colors. This one's a female. You can tell by that jawline. Normally a male would have a big hook nose, but let's turn her around and get her on her way. Later, honey. Oh, Jesus. Got us. Woo! That was cool. So far, it has been a perfect day. It's been a little bit of a challenge. Definitely got our workout, burned some calories to get to these fish, but that's okay. That's what trips like this are all about. Putting yourself out of your comfort zone, experiencing something new, seeing a new place, and in this case, catching some fish. Just making it back to the shelter. What a good trip. Had a good mushroom. Got a great fish. We got enough to eat tonight. Kind of spooked. It's a little spooky out here, this far into a wilderness area. Just cooking fish on an open fire in an area that doesn't really have many hunting tags for it either. We're close to an area that is illegal to hunt in particular. So a lot of wildlife up here, but as we came back to camp, it's not the sunny, shiny day, bright day we remembered. Very eerie fog has moved in, but this shelter is going to keep a lot of the heat from our bodies and everything locked in, and we're going to stay warm. But one thing is, when it gets foggy like this, it traps all that cold air above that low pressure system and makes for a really warm night. I bet it's 55 degrees right now, 50 degrees maybe. No wonder the mushrooms are growing like crazy. So time to get some firewood gathered. There's a couple of dry pieces here I noticed somebody had left, but we'll hike around, grab a couple chunks of firewood, find ourselves a little stump, and then get some food going. What a perfect day. It sure is peaceful here. Just for a second, everybody, I want you to listen to this. You all hear that? It's nothing. This is how we like it. All right, now this is the real good stuff. The stuff that's not sitting on the ground. Yeah, much, much drier. There we go. Okay, now we need the fire starter. Got some good stuff here. Old man's beard is a great thing to use for fire starter. Got that little piece of the dry bark in there. So it has a little bit more pitch in it. Let's go do it. All right, scored this nice little chunk. Somebody must have brought up here for this exact reason. Crazy. It's so foggy right now, everybody, that it's raining out of the trees. Every time the gust of wind comes up, the wind blows and it sounds like it's raining outside. I'm guessing it will start raining tonight, but we won't mind. We're in the 101-year-old cabin. That's going to keep us dry. I'm actually kind of excited. And this fog is nice too. It's very good for the respiratory system. Very healing, very cleansing. Always good to start small and work your way big, with a fire at least. More of like a log cabin to teepee guy, you know. I like to have a little change of scenery mid fire build. Okay, it's time. And what I think I'm gonna do, there were some old cedar shakes laying outside on the ground, spread out, and I think maybe that blew off of the roof in the storm or something. So I'm gonna use them. These are nice little cedar shakes. I'm gonna cedar plank this fish. This one's nice and thin, so I'm just gonna stick it right over the fire and cook the fish, and then I'm gonna put my mushrooms in my only little bowl that I have. So we're getting a fibrous diet tonight, I will say that much. We're gonna get a nice smoke flavor on everything as well. So basically I'm just gonna shave these off, and as I do that, I'm gonna keep an eye out for things like pine needles and bugs in particular. But you know what? Bugs are just nothing but protein. You heard it from me first. Other people are like, no thanks, dude. Bugs in your mushrooms, dude? Hell no. Beautiful. And now the thing about especially the cauliflower is it cooks down a lot. So I'm gonna cut a lot of this up. Is it's gonna cook down a lot of all the moisture that you see in that mushroom. It was almost dripping water into my hand as we were walking back to camp earlier with it. But all that moisture is gonna cook out and evaporate. So these I'm gonna get going right away. Same with the fish. I think he'll clear down into that stump because hey, why not? It all looks like good meat to me. Look at that. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. There we go. That should work. That's just enough. That way that heat comes up and around it. I'm gonna season that just a little bit. Salt and pepper, garlic seasoning mix that I'm gonna throw in there. Little chunks of garlic. Here we go. Fire burn on fish and fire. There we go. Get a little bit more wood going. I don't want this getting too crazy hot. I want to be able to still manage it and get my hands in there to regulate us. But here we go. Dinner's a cooking. Jordan Carnegie forgotten item of the day. Stay fishy item of the week. This is coming along nicely, getting a nice char. Start to see it cooking all the way through there. That wood was nice and saturated wet. I can definitely tell. Thank God somebody left a piece of wood here. There's like 2 big chunks over there, but this wood out here is pretty wet. But we're at least getting our meal cooked. We can start piling on the other wood when that case hits us. So, but this is cooking nicely. I like this. It's going really well. Looks delicious. All right, the fish flip chopstick action. Not half bad with these things, I tell you. Ooh, look at that skin breaking. That's cool. Neat. I'm glad we cooked that whole mushroom. I'll say it again. Boy, there's not that much left after it cooks down like that. Only a couple extra pine needles in there. That ain't too bad. And I think you guys already know what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to take the fish and I'm just going to break it off right into the mushies here in just a second as it's cooked enough. Now, because I want that fish to cook even further through and kind of fall apart as we cook it in there, I'm going to leave just a little bit more of that water in the pan still. Well, not quite ready yet. Ruined my presentation for nothing. But I will tell you one thing. These mushrooms smell unreal. I'm going to get the rest of the skin off. Just like so. And that bad boy's going to go right in there. That way I can peel all that off. And then when it's officially done, I can just grab that bone and that carcass, pull it out. We'll have boneless fish. Boneless fish in mushroom camp. And you guys already know I packed a thing of butter all the way up here. Wasn't eating no mushrooms without butter. And a half stick, that is. I mean, why not? Okay, it's starting to look pretty done. Big chunks of mushies. Somehow there's dog hair in it. I'm sure you guys can hear that texture, how crunchy and nice that mushroom is in the camera. Wow. That whitefish goes really well with that too. Nice part about whitefish is it's a very mild fish. It doesn't have a ton of strong flavor, but it has a very nice fresh flavor. So it's not gonna block the flavor of those mushies at all. But that's dinner, everyone. Look at that. Straight from the woods and the forest. Perfection. Wow, look at that. That is beautiful. Looks like stroganoff almost. What do you think of my chopsticks? Those pieces of wood really came through for us. They smell pretty good. I brought you food, don't worry. All right, we'll wait for that pot to cool off. Sit on down by the fire, enjoy some peace and quiet. Well, this little rock ought to work pretty good for a plate. There it is. That's caveman living right there. A little bit of squirrel food.
today, Mr. Squirrel. Not today. Reminds me of the old story of the Mr. Bear and Mr. Squirrel. Everybody else know that story? It goes, Big Bear's walking through the woods one day, mumbling along, and finds a big old log, and he sits down on it. And then little Mr. Squirrel comes running through the woods. Running through the woods, all innocent and helpless. And he jumps up on the log next to the squirrel, and he goes, "Oh, hi, Mr. Bear." And Mr. Bear goes, "Hey, Mr. Squirrel." And Mr. Squirrel goes, "Oh, how are you today?" And the bear goes, "Oh, I'm pretty good, Mr. Squirrel. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" The squirrel goes, "Oh, no, Mr. Bear, why?" He says, "Well, good." And the bear grabs him and wipes his butt, and off goes the squirrel. That's the story of the bear and the squirrel. And we did this backwards. Got too busy. I got too involved in my story. First things first, I'm gonna lay this down for, I don't know, some sort of barrier, I guess. A little bit of a warmth barrier. I'm sure the wood will do just as much. I'll do that, like that, and like that. And roll a sleeping bag. There we go. That looks pretty nice. Keep my bag nice and close. Got a nice spot for Little. He'll probably crawl under my legs there, sleep on the bed. Time to keep the hands warm by the fire. Do some more relaxing. What a great day this has been. And what a great night it has turned out to be. All right. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is real fire. Went out and found a couple tree hearts. What they are basically they're rotted out trees. I had my hands full, so I didn't record while I did it, but you guys have seen me do it before. But just the old rotted out trees, the pieces that are still standing, you break them apart, and you dig through all that rotten stuff, and in the very center of it, there'll be big chunks like this that are full of pitch. You can hear how solid this thing is, how heavy it is, and it's got all that sap from hundreds and hundreds of year-old trees stored in it. So this should burn the rest of the night. Shouldn't have to even go get more firewood. So hopefully we got these big rocks set up. It'll deflect the heat into our little shelter, keep us warm for the night. Little man's already very cozy. Indeed he is. I don't think he minds this spot. He's got two nests built though. He's got one here and he's got one over there. And he's gonna probably nest with me, so, but that's okay. Any day, buddy, he can nest with Papa's. Well, settling in for the night. What a day. Got Little dog down there. He's snugging. It's not the comfiest spot in the world, but I have slept worse. But all right, everybody. It was a great day. But I'm tired now. It's time to go to bed. See you in the morning. Little alarm clock. Oh, Jesus Moses. Well, I made it. Still alive. Didn't get eaten by the booger man. Or mosquitoes. Or anything for that matter. Didn't sleep that great, but definitely slept. It's gonna be another good day. I made it a whole night in a 100-year-old cabin. Well, back's a little sore. How about you, Little? How you feeling? Pretty good? No cup of joe today. I didn't pack the stuff up here. Figured it was a little bit much for hiking in, so we're going with the old Red Bull. Red Bull, you see us out here. Passing off the cup of joe for your fine, delicious, delectable refreshment. Cheers. I have wings. It's gonna be a good day. All right, so we say goodbye to our trusty shelter. Time to head back down the hill. But we have one more thing in store for today. We're not leaving you guys quite yet. So let's head down the mountain. We're gonna get to the truck. Let's go have a little bit more of an adventure today. It's been an awesome time so far. Everything's gone to plan. A little bit groggy, I must say. Back is hurting. The last time I slept on a straight piece of wood was a while ago. So, but nevertheless, I slept pretty good. We're dry. We're warm. Definitely stayed very warm last night. I had a little cuddle at my feet all night. But let's see if we can find some mushrooms on the way out of here, get to the truck, and on to the next adventure.
Finally back to the truck. And what a cool adventure this one was. I love camping in little cabins like this and seeing new places like we saw here today. And we're running out of time too. The winter is coming. But after this trip, I'm heading back down the hill, packing once again, just like I did for this trip, and heading on one of the coolest adventures I think we've got to go on in a long time here on Stay Fishy Adventures. We're heading to Southern Oregon to go down one of the most iconic and dangerous rivers in the Pacific Northwest. So be on the lookout for that one next week, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. And until next time, you all stay fishy. We'll see you out.